Are you ready to enter the captivating world of America's most infamous gangster? He is known for his enormous rise to power, immense wealth, and many myths and legends, but also for his insane downfall. Let's unravel the mysteries and explore the legacy of this enigmatic figure. Welcome to Intriguing Icons, where we'll uncover the life of the notorious Al Capone. Let's kick off this video where it all started. Born in Brooklyn, New York on January 17, 1899, Alphonse Gabriel Capone grew up in a tough neighborhood and faced hardships from an early age. As a teenager, he joined the 5 Points Gang, a notorious criminal organization based in New York City. It was here that he honed his skills and learned the ropes of organized crime. However, it was the city of Chicago that would witness the true emergence of Al Capone's criminal prowess. In 1920, at the age of 21, Capone made his way to the Windy City. Chicago, already a hotbed of criminal activity, was poised to become the epicenter of Capone's rise to power. The Prohibition era had created an illegal market for alcoholic beverages, and Capone saw an opportunity to exploit this lucrative trade. He quickly became involved in the illegal alcohol business, supplying speakeasies, clandestine bars, and various establishments with the forbidden drink. In the midst of the violent wars between rival gangs seeking control over Chicago's vice industries, Capone aligned himself with Johnny Torrio, a prominent gangster and mentor figure. Recognizing Capone's potential, Torrio took him under his wing, guiding and mentoring him in the art of running criminal enterprises. Torrio's influence and guidance helped Capone establish himself as a force to be reckoned with. When Torrio was seriously injured in an assassination attempt in 1925, he made a pivotal decision to hand over control of his vast criminal empire, known as the Chicago Outfit, to Capone. This marked a significant turning point in Capone's rise to power, and leading to an even crazier and more chaotic period. Armed with ambition and an unyielding determination, Capone was ready for expanding and consolidating his criminal operations in Chicago. His rise to dominance was characterized by a strategic combination of brutal tactics and strategic alliances. Capone eliminated rival gangs through targeted hits and ruthless measures, culminating in the infamous St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929. This chilling event sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld and solidified Capone's control over the city's illicit activities. Yet, Capone's rise to power was not solely built on violence. It was also fueled by his keen business intelligence. He organized and streamlined the illegal alcohol trade, creating a vast network of breweries, distilleries, and smuggling routes. Controlling every aspect of the production, transportation, and distribution of alcohol ensured a steady supply for the speakeasies and illegal bars that flourished during Prohibition. By capitalizing on the demand for alcohol and ruthlessly eliminating competition, Capone amassed immense wealth and power. His influence extended beyond the criminal underworld, with some even considering him a de facto ruler of Chicago during his reign. Now, let's move on to how Al Capone handled his power. As Capone's criminal empire grew, so did the perception of his invincibility. There were several factors that contributed to this aura of being untouchable. One of the key reasons was Capone's extensive network of corrupt officials and law enforcement personnel. He had woven a web of connections that reached into various levels of government, including police officers, politicians, and even some members of the judiciary. Capone was known for his skill in bribing and influencing those in power, ensuring that his criminal operations remained shielded from interference. But that's not the only reason why he was seen as untouchable. Are you ready to find out more? Al Capone's image of invincibility was not solely a result of his political connections. His reputation for brutality and ruthlessness instilled fear and intimidation among potential witnesses and rivals alike. He was not hesitant to resort to violence to maintain control, and this climate of fear made witnesses hesitant to testify against him, while rival gangs thought twice before challenging his authority. Additionally, gathering solid evidence against Capone proved to be a significant challenge for law enforcement. Despite suspicions of involvement in numerous criminal activities, including bootlegging, gambling, and prostitution, directly linking Capone to these crimes proved elusive. He maintained a certain level of separation between himself and the criminal operations under his control, often using intermediaries and front businesses to insulate himself from prosecution. Capone's wealth and resources further contributed to his perceived invincibility. With vast financial resources at his disposal, he could afford top-notch lawyers who were skilled at exploiting legal loopholes and mounting a robust defense. His legal team's success in delaying and obstructing investigations further frustrated law enforcement's attempts to bring him down. But not everyone saw Capone as the ruthless, violent, and untouchable criminal that he was. Amid the brutality and violence, there was an unexpected aspect of Capone's persona that began to take shape during the Great Depression, which hit the United States in the early 1930s. With many Americans struggling to make ends meet and poverty rampant, Capone saw an opportunity to shape his public image. Are you curious to find out how he got his charitable image? As an answer to the dire economic circumstances, Capone organized and funded soup kitchens, known as soup runs, across Chicago. These kitchens served hot meals, primarily soup, to the unemployed and homeless individuals who were struggling to feed themselves and their families. By offering free meals to those in need, Capone presented himself as a sympathetic figure who cared about the welfare of the less fortunate. His charity efforts were highly publicized, often with newspaper reporters and photographers present to capture the philanthropic acts. Capone ensured that his charity was visible and reached a wide audience, effectively creating a positive public image. However, it is crucial to note that Capone's philanthropic image was a carefully crafted facade to manipulate public opinion. But unfortunately, Al Capone's image couldn't prevent his eventual conviction. Are you ready to find out what happened to the once lethal gangster? Despite being perceived as untouchable for a significant period, Al Capone's criminal empire faced a dramatic turn when he was finally convicted. But interestingly, not for his more serious offenses. The tables had turned, and the law had found a way to bring down the notorious gangster. What happened then is perhaps one of his craziest stories. In 1931, the downfall of Al Capone began with his conviction for income tax evasion. Although he was suspected of involvement in numerous illegal activities, including bootlegging, gambling, and even murder. However, the federal authorities struggled to gather sufficient evidence directly linking him to these crimes. Capone was careful to maintain a certain level of separation between himself and the criminal operations under his control, making it difficult for the prosecution to establish a direct connection. Now, let's enter Special Agent Frank J. Wilson and his team from the Internal Revenue Service. They meticulously built a case against the gangster, focusing on his financial records. Capone's extravagant lifestyle and immense wealth were well known, and the government believed that his reported income did not match the opulent life he led. With the evidence gathered, the government pursued charges against Capone for failing to pay income taxes. The trial unfolded in Chicago, the very city where he once held unrivaled power. Prosecutors presented overwhelming evidence that showcased the stark contrast between his reported income and his extravagant expenditures. The jury found him guilty on 5 counts of tax evasion. On October 17, 1931, Al Capone was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison and was transferred to the infamous Alcatraz Island in San Francisco Bay in 1934. Known as the Rock, Alcatraz was a maximum security penitentiary designed to hold the most dangerous and notorious criminals. Capone's time on Alcatraz marked a significant change in his environment. The isolation and strict regulations of the prison environment stripped away the power and influence he once commanded. The man who had reveled in luxury and excess now faced the harsh realities of life behind bars. The harsh conditions of Alcatraz, coupled with his deteriorating health due to late-stage syphilis, took a toll on the once feared gangster. His power diminished, his health declining. Capone was a mere shadow of his former self. The prison authorities, aware of his health concerns, eventually transferred him to the Federal Correctional Institution in Terminal Island, California, where he spent the remainder of his sentence. In 1939, Al Capone was released on parole for good behavior after serving 7.5 years of his sentence. However, his time in prison and declining health had taken their toll. He retreated from the public eye and lived out his remaining years in seclusion before passing away on January 25, 1947. Now let's move on and unravel some mysteries that will leave you astonished. Because even after his death, Al Capone's larger-than-life persona and the notorious era in which he operated continued to give rise to various myths and legends surrounding his life and criminal activities. These tales, often fueled by sensationalism and embellishment, have further captured the public's imagination and contributed to the enduring fascination with the gangster. One of the most enduring myths associated with Capone is the existence of hidden vaults filled with mysterious treasures. According to legend, he amassed vast amounts of wealth through his criminal empire, and some believe that he stashed away fortunes in secret locations to ensure their preservation. While some stories suggest that these vaults may still remain undiscovered to this day, others claim that they were merely products of sensationalized tales. Another popular myth revolves around secret escape tunnels. It is often claimed that Capone had an intricate network of tunnels built beneath his various properties to facilitate his escape from law enforcement during raids or in times of imminent danger. These tunnels supposedly provided him with hidden escape routes and served as hideouts for storing contraband. Like the legend of hidden vaults, the truth behind the existence of such tunnels remains elusive. Moreover, tales of extravagant underground parties hosted by Capone have further contributed to the allure of his persona. These parties are described as lavish and extravagant affairs, featuring live music, dancing, gambling, and an endless supply of alcohol, perfectly depicting the roaring 20s image. The myth of these underground parties adds an element of decadence and excess to Capone's character, painting him as a glamorous figure amid the gritty world of organized crime. Throughout the years, various individuals and groups have attempted to unravel the truth behind these myths and legends. Archaeologists, historians, and treasure hunters have embarked on quests to discover hidden vaults or secret escape tunnels, but tangible evidence has remained elusive. Nevertheless, the mystery and allure surrounding Al Capone and his era continue to captivate our imagination. As we conclude our exploration of Al Capone's life, we are left with a complex and enigmatic figure whose legacy continues to intrigue us. But what is it about Al Capone that fascinates us? Is it the allure of a charismatic and ruthless gangster who seemed untouchable for so long? Or perhaps it's the enduring fascination with the Prohibition era and the larger-than-life characters that emerged from it. As the years pass, the legends and myths surrounding Al Capone's life may continue to evolve and capture the imaginations of future generations. Yet it is crucial to recognize that the truth behind the man and his empire remains shrouded in mystery, forever tied to a time and place that continues to captivate our curiosity and fascination. Now that you know everything about Al Capone, I highly recommend you subscribe to our channel, Intriguing Icons, to never miss a new video.